y'all. Hey.
Hey, what's up? What's up? I'm gonna disclaimer now. My Wi-Fi is a little bit crazy because I'm trying to upload film and it's kind of just taking up a lot of it's taking up a
Space.
lot of bandwidth. And anywho, but we're glad to be back in the place. Dope sports chicks, Adele Nicole and
Carlita Nicole, the quirky queen herself, Chi-Town, born and bred, Texas fed. What's up, y'all?
what's up?
So, yeah, my hair looks like it's been windy in Dallas, right? Because it has, right? So, what's the deal tonight, guys? What are we talking about?
Well, I mean, let me see. What do you have on today? Okay, yeah.
It's covered up. That star is covered up. Cause why? What are we beefing with Jerry Jones about this week? Okay, so here's the deal. First of all, did the Dallas Cowboys get mollywopped, tiddly flopped, all of the things in Denver against the Denver Broncos? Yes, we did. 44-24. Y'all, like, this was the equivalent of, like, I got a gift, a really expensive like Gucci bag or something from Jerry Jones, but it was ripped or it was a fake. It was really a Fucci and not a Gucci. Because what are we doing? Like, there was so many things. First of all, the game started off decent, right? Like, we got off to a promising start. We had a pick from Bridges, and it resulted in a field goal instead of, a touchdown. But, whatever. It is what it is. We got the pick. But from then on, the Broncos just kind of took the wheel and had their way with us. So Bo Nix went for 4 touchdowns, and we have RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey went for, RJ Harvey had 3 touchdowns. This man, 3 touchdowns. He had 2 rushing and 1 receiving touchdown. Here's the deal. Like, what? Here it is again. We're playing another game where we're making people look like Hall of Famers against us. RJ Harvey hadn't had a game like this before until he played us. Bo Nix hadn't even. This game made us look so bad. We're now ranked last in total defense and passing yardage allowed. Like, we are doing horribly. So bad, like Denver scored on 5 of their first 8 possessions against us. Our defense looks atrocious. Like, Michael Irvin even called this performance like super embarrassing, because it is embarrassing. Like, who wants to be in a relationship with this? You know what I'm saying? Like, Jerry Jones, you're making us look bad. So in essence, I really kind of feel like after all of everything that happened this weekend with the Dallas Cowboys, that we legit look like a MySpace profile, like in 2025, because we're outdated, we're vulnerable, and we're ignoring like what's in our face. Like, in real life, do y'all understand that the Broncos lost Patrick Surtain? Did we exploit that in any way, shape, or form? We didn't. And that right there, that was like giving us an olive branch. That was giving us something to say, hey, here you go. But no, I mean, not that we wanted him to get hurt, but it's like, dang, he got injured. We couldn't even capitalize off of that. So in essence, no. Like, this is not a Super Bowl caliber team.
No.
This is not what's going to get us to the playoffs. Jerry Jones is still in Delulu land. Therefore, my star is covered up. This toxic relationship is really mid-season, like, throwing me for a loop, because what are we doing? We have literally no definitive identity. Look, Dak had a really bad game. I'm not going to say really bad. He had 2 interceptions.
It's pretty bad.
It was 19 for 31. Yes, but I will say, I said not that bad, Sadell, because check this out. Dak had more rushing yards than Jaden Blue, and he had 10 rushing yards less than Javonte Williams.
I,
So he's Dak is doing what Dak can do in his own with his own talents and skills. Everything else is out of his control.
I
What
think
more do you want from him?
I ain't asked for nothing from Dak. I just think this game exposed a lot. You know, we know our defense is awful. Like it's been awful. It's been at the bottom. We know that. But the other thing is we haven't been against the front seven like that. You know what I'm saying? And so Dak was looking like all-star-ish, MVP-ish because there wasn't a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying? But now we went against a defense that was actually collapsing the pocket and just
Yep.
making everything look different. Like he had those two interceptions because he was hurrying because that pocket was closing.
Quickly.
And then you got Browning and Jonathan Cooper, like they had multiple QB hits, you know what I'm saying? And they pressured him a lot. And so I think they only converted on maybe 4 third down attempts. I mean, it was just a lot. And I think just in general, the defense made things like that forced fumble on Tony Pollard. Like there was a lot of things that exposes on offense. Like we knew our defense was not. And I mean, at this rate right now, I mean, we're not gonna win 7 games. I mean, we are literally 3, 4, and 1. And
I mean, are you like look, Kevin is like, when will the Dallas fans realize they will never win? It's all a charade. Kevin, like really?
I mean, I think to me, even when offense was clicking, you cannot win in the playoffs without defense.
You
It's
can't.
you can win if your offense is struggling and your defense can show up. You know what I'm saying? But
And
it's really hard to win without having a good defense.
I agree. And the fact that like we haven't been able to defend the run at all. And every single time, it's almost like every time we go up against any running back, it doesn't have to be an elite running back. Okay. Like J.K. Dobbins is a really good caliber running back. However, he's only eclipsed 100 yards once this season before he played us. And then he plays us and he gets the most yards he's had this season. I know because I have him on my fantasy team. So Kevin is saying, why did we get rid of Parsons? Jerry's too old and his son is no better. Is Micah Parsons going to make a difference in this scenario with our defense being as bad as it is? No. And honestly, keeping Micah Parsons here would be even worse off for our team in the long run because we can't get any additional help if we're paying Micah Parsons the type of money that Micah Parsons wanted.
Yeah, I mean, again, either way, at the end of the day, you don't make your team better by getting rid of your best player. And that still plays a part in it. I mean, our defense may not have been the best, but I don't think we'll be at the bottom of every category with him still here.
We wouldn't be at the bottom with pressure on the passer. Yeah,
But I
okay.
mean, I'm just saying, even that though, even that makes a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Our offense is moving the ball. We up by 20 points. They're gonna have to throw the ball. That's what Micah would take care of. We don't have that, and then now we allowing teams to come back and we having to fight. I mean, it's just
We are
gonna be an
fighting.
ongoing thing.
We are fighting. And the fact that we have not beat the Denver Broncos since 1995. Like, do y'all see a pattern here? It's that we can't beat teams that we historically can't beat. And then when we play players that haven't had good games all season, they have a career high against us. Or when we play against a person that we used to have on our team, or like when we play Chicago, Matt Eberflus is our defensive coordinator. He got fired from Chicago as their head coach last year. And we couldn't beat Chicago. When we had Mike McCarthy as our head coach, and he was a former head coach of the Green Bay Packers, we could never beat the freaking Green Bay Packers with Mike McCarthy as our coach.
I mean,
I
but
don't
these
understand.
are the people you're talking. I'm just saying, was Mike McCarthy just that great of a coach, or did he win because he had discount double check?
I never said
But
he
I'm
was.
saying I don't think that it's necessarily a curse that we can't beat them. I think, having those people in place in those relationships, I don't think has anything to do with it. I think we just, you know, Denver is just a different kind of team in general, for one, for us,
They're very
especially
well
this year.
coached.
Huh?
They're very well coached.
That too.
They are. He said, but y'all have Pickens and others trying to satisfy Dak, but that wasn't the issue. Well, so what is the issue? What do y'all think is the issue? Because I at this point am okay with Micah Parsons no longer being a Dallas Cowboy.
I mean, I'm okay with it at this point too. But the issue to me, for one, is like I said, our defense is bottom of the barrel, like terrible. You're not gonna be able to go far with that. But also, our offensive line was exposed. I mean, we got some problems, and so we're going. And so now, all these 40 points that we putting up, now other teams are like, oh, okay. Oh, now I see what we got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We haven't played a bit against that. That front seven is what our front seven used to look like. And it hasn't looked that way in a long time. But we did used to have that once upon a time. So when you're putting that kind of pressure on him, even though he's having a great season. He's doing everything he could possibly do.
Yes.
When you put in that kind, you have to agree so quickly. Lord Jesus.
Somebody got to defend this man.
But I'm not saying anything about him. I'm saying he's doing everything he can possibly do. But I'm saying that exposed some things in us on offense that makes me leery of us winning more than 7 games max.
So let me tell you how much Cowboys haters love to watch us, but don't know nothing about us. Kevin on these comments talking about we need quality tight ends like Novacek and Witten and spread the field. You are not watching the Dallas Cowboys. We don't have
I'm not even as much as concerned about that. I mean, we need defense and we need to shore up our offensive line at this point.
Yes. Our primary issue, though, absolutely is defense. I feel like spreading the field when you have a George Pickens and a CeeDee Lamb, and we have Ferguson. Like, come on, we are spreading the field. Like, we are spreading, but that's not the issue, because when Dak does have time in the pocket, to what you were saying, Sadell, he can get the ball down the field, and Pickens and CeeDee Lamb don't have a problem catching passes. Rarely, besides the first game CeeDee played, and we haven't seen him drop passes like that anyway. So right. Okay. So here's the deal, y'all, because this game was not the only like severely lopsided game this week. Okay. This game was one of several. So out of 13 games played this week, 12 of them were decided by 10 plus points. Only one of those games was a 1-point game, and that game ended up being the Jets and the Bengals. Talk about it. 39-38. And the Jets ended up coming back and beating the Bengals. And the Bengals actually have started to show a sign of life. Joe Flacco got there, and now all of a sudden they have somebody who can pass the ball. T. Higgins is getting targets. Jamar Chase is getting those numbers. Chase Brown is able to run up and down the field. But somehow, some way, the New York Jets decided, you know what? No, we're going to win this game. We're not going to be taking home any more losses. After that game, they interviewed Justin Fields, and he was emotional about that win. And he's just, you could tell this young man has been in prayer. This man he's had a hard road in the NFL. If you look at it where he was before Chicago, now with New York, like he's had a rough time. But this season, it's not looked good for the Jets. It's not looked good for them. But they managed to pull out this win. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with them next week, but do y'all think that the Jets can be consistent from this point on, will be a little bit more consistent, maybe start winning some games after they beat the Bengals this week?
I mean, I think like you said, Justin Fields was pretty emotional, and it was a tight game for the most part, all the way through, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think they've kind of gotten a little bit of momentum. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna continue.
I don't know if that will either. I want to have some hope for them, but at the same time, man, this season might be a bust for the Jets. It really may be, and I
mean, at this point, they're 1-7. You know, they're 1-7, and you know,
they're 1-7. They are. Jeez. Okay, so let me run down some other crazy numbers to y'all. Tampa Bay, they like dominated New Orleans 23-3. They had massive sacks, turnovers all through that game. And the Bills game with the Panthers, James Cook went for 216 rushing yards. 216 rushing yards, y'all. That's crazy. The Bills won 40-9, and he also had 2 touchdowns. Like crazy numbers. KC beat the Commandos 28-7. So KC is on the roll, y'all. They might be coming back. I don't know. We're gonna see. The Chargers beat the Vikings 37-10. That one, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit shocked because I was expecting for the Vikings to at least be able to keep up scoring wise, but they couldn't.
Fight back.
Try. Another one that these last two surprised me. Dolphins over the Falcons 34-10.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been giving the Dolphins a hard time this season, but they've been giving themselves a hard time this season too. The Dolphins, I don't know what happened, because let me tell y'all, I picked Atlanta to beat them.
Of course.
I did. And I was like, am I by myself picking Atlanta? I'm not. I wasn't.
And I mean, I guess I'm just confused because Tua, who is he now? Like, what just happened?
What are we doing? Are you confused? Because the confusion is settling in over here. Because what happened?
And then their defense, like, I don't understand.
Get it. And the fact that Bijan Robinson,
exactly,
that game threw me for a loop. Like all of my picks this week were so lopsided and so jacked up. And I got a question for y'all to ask after this one. Ravens over the Bears, the Baltimore Ravens over the Chicago Bears 30-16 this season without Lamar Jackson. Like, do y'all understand that Huntley beat Caleb Williams and the Bears. Like, do y'all understand the Ravens have had a heck of a time this season without Lamar Jackson?
They have.
And the Bears have actually looked really good this season. I picked Chicago to win this game. What happened? What happened? 30-16. So here's the deal with all of these blowout games. Y'all, Sadell, make this make sense, because this reminds me of like a really bad school group project where it's only a few teams that do the work and get the credit, and everybody else is kind of just twiddling their thumbs on their games or with their headphones. And is this like indicative of the league's competitive balance? Because I feel like we're super lopsided in the NFL right now with these games. So what do y'all think about that?
I mean, I don't think necessarily that was the case this week because, like you said, like with Lamar, I would have expected the Ravens to win, but without him, I definitely wouldn't expect a 30-16. So I don't think it's a matter because Chicago is a good team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think somehow, they were able to just like buckle down and beat them at their own game. Basically, like they did some things on offense in the red zone that they would not have been able to do. And even though like the Bears were really focused on stopping Derrick Henry, which I think is what everybody had kind of been focusing on doing, the Ravens came out with a different plan and was just like, okay, we know they're not going to let him run the way we need him to run.
Right.
They came out with a different plan, and their defense helped put the offense in better positions because they were able to.
They did.
You know what I'm saying? And so I don't think it's necessarily lopsided. Now, I do think sometimes, and it may have been the case in a few of these games, like I don't think the Falcons expected anything like that from the Dolphins. And so
they could have
overlooked.
Yeah. They could not have expected that.
So I'm saying, I think sometimes you overlook teams that you're automatically assuming that you're going to beat. And then next thing you know, crying.
Right.
I think that may have been the case with the Ravens and with the Dolphins. So I don't know. The Saints are just trash right now. So those 3 points, that's about how much they cost right now. So that's not anything that was unexpected.
Those Saints are gonna come for you. They go come for you.
What I do. But yeah, I mean, and I mean, with us, it's not. I think we just got exposed. We got exposed on some things. We hadn't had a defense put that much pressure on our offensive line, and now we see we have an issue, or now we know we have an issue. Defense, we already knew. We ain't gonna be able to stop too many people. It's just
we knew.
We got to be able to score 50 points and just hope that they can hold somebody else. But
isn't that crazy? Like we're one of the highest scoring teams in the league.
Have to be. But again, now with the pressure that they put on, it's just, that just puts us at a different level. And if we're not able to score high points, we're not going to win any more games because our defense just won't consistently stop people.
Right. No, absolutely. So I don't know. This season, I haven't been able to pick these games properly. I haven't because they're either super close. Like week 7, the games are super close. One score games, and you really couldn't tell who was going to win. But then it's like these games, we knew who was going to win, and then all of a sudden, after we knew who was going to win, that just did not go that way, like the Dolphins and the Ravens. So that leads me to figuring out week 9. What's y'all's predictions for week 9? So Thursday night football tomorrow night, the Ravens are playing the Dolphins. So if these two not great teams had fantastic wins last week, and they're coming against each other. Who is going to fare? Now, I'm not sure if Lamar Jackson is coming back. I believe he is. And I do I feel like hands down, if Lamar Jackson comes back, they win this game.
For sure.
But do you think the Dolphins have a chance? Like, if Lamar Jackson, let's just say he sits out one more week, do the Dolphins have a chance?
I mean, anybody has a chance, but I just feel more confident in the Ravens than I do in the Dolphins right now. I mean, granted, yeah, they did come out and win the game, but I don't. I'm just shocked about Tua. Like it's just been crazy.
I know, but their offense, the thing about their offense, the Dolphins' offense, they can score. And if they can keep up with the scoring, I think it can be a close game. It just depends on what version of the Ravens defense shows up and what version of the Dolphins offense shows up.
Exactly. And it's going to be interesting, crazy. I mean, we're literally going to, this is going to be, they play tomorrow night and it's like 2-5 versus 2-6. And so it's kind of, I mean,
Thursday night.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see, but I have a little bit more confidence in the Ravens than I do in the Dolphins right now, even though they're both pretty awful. Both came away with some wins this week, so we'll see.
They did, surprisingly. So, okay, well then, AFC Championship rematch: Chiefs versus the Bills Sunday. Man, the Chiefs versus the Bills. Let me tell y'all, out of all of the games this Sunday, I am probably looking forward to that one the most. To see Josh Allen. Remember when they had the AFC Championship game? That game was going back and forth. It was like two heavyweight boxers throwing bows, right? Then at the whole last minute of that game, they were going back and forth, exchanging points, and then KC came back and tied the game at the very last couple of seconds of the game. They go into overtime, and then Travis Kelce that scored the touchdown for them for KC and won. Like, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are like the Achilles heel to Joe Burrow, but they also are to Josh Allen and the Bills too. I want to see Josh Allen and the Bills win against KC. So, and I have Josh Allen. I'm starting him that game. I started Justin Herbert last week over Josh Allen. But this week I will be starting Josh Allen. So go Josh Allen and the Bills. Who you got?
I think the Chiefs are going to pull it off. I think it's,
Okay.
I mean, I think, of course, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. And, I think right now he is performing at a pretty high level. I think that they have balanced their offense enough to make it hard for defenses to stop. I think they have their defense is actually doing a lot better. You know what I'm saying? So I think, I feel like right now they have more things going. I do think it's going to be a close game, but I just think they have more things going for them right now.
Well, James Cook is cooking, and it seems like Josh Allen using his legs and getting his rushing touchdowns, and with James Cook, they might be able to pull out a win. Now, Sunday night football, the Seahawks versus the Commandos.
Ugh.
The Commandos lost last week. they again, like we have talked about it before, the Commandos are regressing at like a severe rate. Like it's it's not sad to see because they're in the NFC East. I'm like, keep diving, keep deep diving because we need it. We need all the help in the East that we can get to make it to the playoffs because we can't do it by ourselves. So we need the Giants and the Commandos to help out with that a little bit.
I mean, Jaden Daniels, if he doesn't play, they're not absolutely not going to win. I mean, even with him playing, I don't think they'll win. But without him playing, they're just like you said, they're going in the wrong direction. Seattle's defense, is doing pretty well. One of the top is especially against the run.
Where's your confidence in Marcus Mariota?
I don't know. I mean, did he show a lot of confidence the last game?
I'm asking about your confidence.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, he didn't give me a vote of confidence. I really wished for more, to be honest.
Yeah. I want them to lose. Go Seahawks on Sunday night. Go Seahawks. Now we have the Monday night game, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Cardinals. The Cardinals kind of hit like this coasting spell. I don't know. I don't trust them at all on any front, offensively, defensively, coaching. There's just nothing that about the Cardinals that I could rest on and say, okay, yeah, y'all got us.
I mean, I agree.
Isn't that bad?
I mean,
you gotta.
I do agree that we should beat them.
That was very, very hesitant.
I do agree that we should beat them. It's just football has this weird thing, and Kyler Murray has never lost at AT&T Stadium.
That's true for him, even high school and college, right?
Exactly. We should beat them, right? Their offense is not very good. Granted, our defense is not very good, but our offense will be able to score more than their offense will. You know what I'm saying? Even with our defense being so, I feel like we should win. But there's just this thing, you know what I'm saying? It's like he's never lost. That just keeps lingering in the back of my head. Like, should we win overall? We should. Should we? The issue is our defense going to be tested? Is Kyler going to make it a little bit difficult for our defense? He is, but I do think our offense should be able to score more.
Yes. That
I think what's going to have to happen if we manage the clock well. If we manage the clock well on offense and manage our time of possession on offense, then we should win.
Right.
But again, Kyler's never lost at AT&T Stadium. Ever. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's crazy.
There's a first time for everything.
First time for everything.
There's a first time for everything. And hopefully it's Sunday. Hopefully Sunday is the day, because if we lose against the Cardinals, I am hanging up any types of playoff hopes. If we lose against the Cardinals, it is a wrap.
I think I'm about there anyway.
Wow. So okay, let's switch over, because guys, can we talk about this? There's this discussion that I want to talk about as far as the NBA, because the NBA is back, and the NBA came back, and it was not good. There have been arrests made and investigations had already, right? So let's dive into it. this federal investigation around the NBA has grown into this major integrity crisis, right? Coach Chauncey Billups, there's two things that happened. Coach Chauncey Billups was arrested as part of a probe that alleges high stakes poker rings, rigged games, money laundering, and organized crime involvement. Now, at first I was like, okay, it's a poker game. What does that have to do with the NBA? So the reason that this matters for the league is that even though it's this alleged activity had nothing to do with the NBA game, it still strikes at the heart of the competition of fairness. Public trust is in doubt, league rules and image, and when the coaches and the players are tied to illegal gambling and the whole league's credibility takes a hit, like that does not look good for the NBA as a whole. So then the second case came up where the guard Terry Rozier, he's of the Miami Heat. He was arrested for alleged involvement in another federal scheme. He's accused of tipping off bettors about when he would leave a game early so they could bet on the under on his performance. By using non-public information about the NBA player status and injuries. So between March of 2023 and March of 2024, there are several games that are under scrutiny. So here is the spillover on that, where I want to bring in another part, because recently the NCAA, they plan to let student athletes and staff bet on professional sports games starting on November 1st. However, in light of all of this NBA scandal and investigations and stuff, they've delayed that effective date to November 22nd. They're essentially pausing it to take a step back and say, hey, if a pro league is under this kind of federal investigation, how wise is it to now give our college athletes open access to pro sports wagering? The ripple effect has come in like real hard, and we're talking about college eligibility, game integrity, monitoring, compliance, and the whole sports pyramid of stuff. So this is just like it's looking like it's a sports system type of bad situation, and it's raising all of these questions about betting, athlete access, and other things. So if the NCAA saw this NBA shakeup and they hit pause on the betting rule change, what does that tell us about the state of sports and sports betting right now? Or are we just looking at one bad apple in this situation and putting this aside and saying this is a situation all on its own? Which way are y'all leaning towards?
I doubt very seriously it's one bad apple. I mean, when you start thinking about,
I do too, yeah.
When you start thinking about all the stuff that they've been accused of, and I mean, it's not anything new. Like, this is stuff that's been happening before. It's just not a lot of people have been caught doing it. But a player can rig the betting part of the game without throwing the game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
they can still win the game as long as they're not going over. Like, there's ways to just miss a couple shots, or there's ways to, like you said, like they're releasing information about player injuries that are not even, that's not public yet. So there's things like that that's going to say, okay, bet on this, or they're betting on, it's just such a big, and then even with the poker games, even though, Chauncey Billups was, seems to be in the middle of all this, he ain't the only one, but did you read about like how they're doing it? Like, it's saying they're using like
this is high tech.
Right. Hidden cameras in the chip trays, special contact lenses, stuff like that.
See-through tables.
Yes, to see the cards face down. An
M- Uh,
X-ray table so they can see the
the
cards face down.
cards,
Like,
there's something with the card. They put chips and stuff in the cards.
I
All kinds
mean,
of stuff.
it's crazy. Oh yeah, they marked the cards and they had special contact lenses to read them. But I'm like,
That's
that I
crazy.
mean, but the other thing is this is related to a New York mob family, basically.
Look, it's like 3 different mob families.
But I'm saying, like, to get
Like this
involved in
is
that,
big.
the thing that is crazy to me, to be honest, like if you're and I'm not saying it's good or right or whatever, but if you're like a struggling college student, you don't have that much money,
Mhm.
um, you can be coerced into something like this because it's
Unfortunately.
quick money, okay, I can do this, I can get me a car, I can do this. But if you're already making millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions already, what would be the point of risking that for 20,000, 50,000, $100,000?
Girl,
You know what
that
I'm saying?
screams addiction to me because if I
But
had
I'm
that
saying,
type
even
of money,
if there's an addiction, you can go to Vegas and gamble it all off without doing something illegal that's going to literally risk your whole entire livelihood. That's the part that is crazy to me because you're not hungry. It's some kids that have been put in that position because they didn't have people at home who could send them money. They didn't have money. That was long before NIL. And so now you got these dudes making all these millions of dollars and you gonna risk all that on $100,000 bet.
yeah,
So that's the part that just crazy. But do I think it's just the tip of the iceberg? I do think it's now based upon who's all involved in this. Are they going to release and rat out everybody? I don't think so.
right. I mean, especially with mob involvement.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
But it does bring about the question because it's a federal investigation that, like, how many games are they going to look at? And for how long? And then the deeper the investigation comes forth, I don't believe it's going to be a good look for the NBA as a whole. Because so you could look at it like this could change how the NBA monitors the prop bets and their injury reports. And so that automatically, for somebody like me who plays fantasy, I play fantasy football, I haven't played basketball yet. But if I played fantasy basketball, I would be super concerned. If I bet anything for the NBA, I would be concerned because what are you doing? You can't trust any of those things. If the players are telling people, hey, I'm gonna go out by the first half or by the first half of the first quarter, oh, I got a cramp, I got an ankle injury, oh, I
Right.
twist, everybody's gonna be questioned. Everybody's gonna be questioned. If you look at it, like the NFL has investigated like injuries and rest and stuff like that. They were investigating Lamar Jackson's missing games and stuff. Like, are you really injured? Are they are they hiding an injury or whatever the deal is? If all of these leagues, they investigate stuff like that. But when you start adding betting to it, and that takes away the integrity of the game, I really do think that it's a trickle down effect where what's going to end up happening is that as the investigation opens up more and more people are going to fall from the wayside. And the thing is, how many people are the NBA can't control. If it's a federal investigation and people start getting arrested, the NBA can't do anything to stop that.
They
And
cannot.
so if they want to try to hide some stuff or get ahead of some stuff, they regardless they can't, because now these games are going to be investigated. They're going to start pulling players and coaches and GMs, all kinds of people for interviews and investigations. And it's, again, it's not a good look for the league. It's not a good look for gambling. You know, Vegas has got to be looking crazy right now. Like, wait a second, y'all about to mess up our money.
Well, and the crazy thing too is, I mean, we talking about interviewing owners and stuff, but I wouldn't put it past them to be involved in it either.
Well, they say what's done in the dark comes to the light.
Eventually it does.
And I believe that that door just creaked on open. And the light is coming through. And I believe we just saw the first of many. And it's going to be interesting to watch it, because if federal investigations, once they get started, they keep going. And the thing is, what's crazy about this entire situation, Chauncey Billups didn't have anything to do with the Rosier guard. Like, those are two totally different instances that don't have anything to do with each other. So if you could imagine all of these NBA teams, all of these NBA players on each roster, there's somebody's out there doing some stuff they ain't got no business doing. And what's interesting about it, they're going to start interviewing refs. Even I've seen some refs do interviews. Just a bunch of other stuff is about to start coming out. So I'm gonna keep a watch on it and let you guys know as the story unfolds. But I do believe it's about to get good and interesting, but not in a good way for the NBA. Because so let me ask you this, Adele.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to say if. I kind of feel like I got to say when. But when the investigation comes out and other players, coaches, owners, GMs, whatever, are found out in this gambling ring, and there's multiple people, how do you think the league will respond? Because with Chauncey Billups this is a federal offense. Like, he was arrested by the feds. They're on leave with no pay. And the NBA has a strict rule when it comes to gambling and stuff. So, and you will be banned. This will affect many, many teams. But how do you think it's going to play itself out?
Honestly, I think a big part of it, when all is said and done, is going to depend on who is involved, right? It's going to depend on how high it goes up. Because at the end of the day, like, they're going to do whatever, you know, they're going to put some people on administrative leave. They're going to suspend them. They're going to have them do this statement. You know, they'll make them do some things. Yeah. But I'm saying, I think in general, I think it depends on how high all this goes up. If you start talking about owners and GMs implicated in this thing, then it kind of gets a little bit different. Now, I think Adam Silver has been calling for more regulation in the sports betting thing, but he thinks that maybe a federal legislation is the way to go, which really, in essence, like you said, takes the NBA out of punishment, because now all of it's going to be federal, and you just have
out of the league's hands. Yeah, right. Yeah.
And so, but I like you said, this scandal just in general brings concerns about the integrity of the game, because there's some games that you're like, what the heck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, and people always say, like, people say the NFL is rigged. People say the NBA is rigged. No, they don't want these certain teams to win, or they do want these certain teams to win. And now when you have something like this, which again, even though there's players like, saying that they've actually done this, I don't know that it stops with the players. I mean, for all we know, it could be owners telling the players to tell people, you know what I'm saying? Who
Yeah.
knows where it's going to end up? But I
Oh,
think
that's terrible.
with the commissioner pushing for it to be moved completely federal, I think they're trying to make sure they're not getting caught up in it. Like, this is going to
Right.
be on y'all. Y'all do this, and the courts are going to decide what happens to y'all. But
Yes, because that
like you
is an
said, in the
integrity
past,
issue.
if it's just players, they've had a lifetime ban of some players. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
I think if it stays with players, that may be in effect. The crazy thing, because they set that precedent last year with Jonte Porter. So if you issue a lifetime ban on
Yeah.
this dude, and you kind of skate through whatever this is happening right now, like, I think it's going to bring lawsuits and even more questioning of the integrity of the league.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate. That's so unfortunate for the game, because things like load management will be questioned even
Exactly.
more, because why are you sitting out, and is this a legit injury, or is this legitimate rest?
And even like game day decisions, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
we're trying to see
yeah,
if he's gonna, huh?
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I
right,
feel like even game day decisions will be an issue because, you're supposed to play this whole time, everybody done bet, and now all of a sudden, maybe he's not gonna play.
right, right.
But yeah, it'll be tricky to see how that plays out.
I'll keep you guys updated on all of that information whenever we get some more information. Okay, so to wrap up tonight, real quick, we got another like crazy controversy, but
Just
I okay, let me break this down to y'all. My Dallas Mavericks are suing my Dallas Stars. So here's the deal with that. The Mavericks are dragging the Stars into business court over the AAC, which is the American Airlines Center that they play in. The Mavericks filed this junction because they're claiming that the Stars have breached the clause that they agreed on in 1998 that says that their corporate headquarters will stay in the city of Dallas. Currently, they've been functioning out of the city of Frisco. So, also, the Mavs say that the Stars have been obstructing upgrades and renovations to the arena, saying reportedly that the Stars have reportedly backed out a previously planned $300 million fix-up. Then they turned around and asked for a $400 million deal with the city to pick up the tab. So because of this, the Mavs say that the Stars are basically holding the arena hostage. And the Mavs ownership has withheld the Stars' share of the arena's revenues in the tens of millions of dollars, and they bought the Stars half of the joint operating company. The Stars half of the joint operating company. The Mavs have purchased that. Like, this is getting good, not in a good way though. So basically, it comes down to this. There's two major Dallas franchises. They're sharing the same building since 2001. And now they're locked into this turf war over rent. The headquarters location, and then who pays for what and where, which team sees this, that, and the other. It's a bunch of stuff. So at the end of it, if the Mavericks and the Stars can't, make nice under the same roof that they've shared for decades, like, what does that say about the business of sports being so important, like more important than the sport itself? Like, this is a business to them, but these are the sports. And that also, like, we're watching these two franchises fight, but I do feel like in the midst of it, they're forgetting the fans and the city that supports them. So what is it? Like, is the business more important than the sport in this situation? Like, how do they come to terms with this?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, if they want to, do what's best for the teams and the fans, and they maintain it and they go through. But I think at the end of the day, it is a business, and it's not necessarily the players making the business decisions.
Right.
It's the people in the front office who are making those decisions, and their goal is to make money and do the things that they want to do. Now, I am like, it's to me, it's still just a weird thing anyway
It
that
is.
these two independent franchises have joint ownership of this company and had this agreement. I think it said like through 2031 or something like that,
Right.
to be co-tenants.
Yeah.
And so it's just it's weird, and it's not like it has happened in other places before, but I don't know that it's gone to the level where they've actually had to go to court. Ideally they would just write it out. Well, I think, yeah, 2031 is kind of a long time to write it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I do understand from the Mavs perspective, like, you're literally trying to upgrade it, which supposedly is part of their contract agreement that
Right.
and so again, it's business. I don't know that they're going to, make any decisions that are going to be specific to, let's just do what makes our fan base happy,
Mm-hmm.
versus, let's handle business and get it done. I don't know what's going to happen if they end up in court. I mean, well, they're in court.
Like, I don't, yes, between the renovations and I don't know what would happen now. Here is the deal too, because have you noticed that a lot of stuff started happening that was crazy when Mark Cuban sold the Mavericks? Just like the Luka trade, and now the Stars and the Mavs are beefing. And I kind of feel like this would have never happened had Mark Cuban never.
Mark Cuban was a different kind of businessman. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he was a business savvy sports dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he loved the game enough that he was going to maneuver around and try and make it work for the people who love the game the way he did.
Yeah. I agree with that. Mark Cuban, we miss you. Luka, we miss you. Come back. I don't know what's going on with our Dallas franchises. I mean, clearly we know what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys and our toxic relationship, but now the Mavericks and the Stars, like, Rangers, don't fail me. Come on, Wings. Like, I need the Wings to do something in real life. I mean, FC Dallas, I mean, come on, somebody have our backs, because I just feel like our major franchises are saying to hell with all of the Dallas fans. And I don't like that. I don't like that, because we are some of the best fans. And I think we need to be rewarded for our fandom, and our organizations are not doing that. Jerry Jones, you need to lead the pack. Call me so I can show you how to do it.
Whatever. On that note, we're going to close this thing out. We love you guys. We thank you so much for tuning in and rocking with us. If no one told you they loved you this week, just know that we love you and we appreciate you, and we can't wait to see you back here next week. And pray for me, because I'm still trying to upload this stuff to Huddle and it keeps messing up. I'm getting so very frustrated, but it has to happen tonight. So we're going to get this done. So just say a quick prayer before you go to bed. Thank you.
Sending all the good vibes.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Peace out.